What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video by TrunkFreshGreen34, and today we have another Tokyo Mater review. This time it is on Ito-san, who is the car that Mater tows all the way from Radiator Springs to Tokyo. I have no idea the logistics of that. We see at one point that Mater, pops out of the water at some point. Did he swim there? I don't know. I don't really understand how it works, but he somehow got Ito-san from Radiator Springs to Tokyo. So, and it led to a fun short. So we're not going to think too hard about it. Otherwise, our brains are just going to melt. So, Ito-san is one of the several Tokyo Mater cars that they're actually doing in the mainline this year. I talked about this a little bit in my Patoka review, which I'll link in the description. But basically, Mattel is actually reviving the Toons line again for the first time since before Cars 3, which is just absolutely fantastic. I'm kind of surprised it took them this long, honestly, but yeah, they're here now. They're only focusing on Tokyo Mater this year, it looks like, though, which is a little bit unfortunate, but a lot of these cars have not been available in a very, very long time. So, for most people, these are going to be new releases, especially for me, because, my Cars Toons collection is very, very small, especially the Tokyo Mater stuff. So all of the Tokyo Mater stuff that's coming out this year, I don't have. So I'm very excited to build out that collection. It's going to be really fun. And Ito-san is one of those cars that I'm going to add to my collection once this video is done. And yeah, let's get right into it. So one thing I did talk about in the Patoka review as well was the packaging. So all of the releases this year from Tokyo Mater just have Tokyo Mater's artwork in place of actual character art, which it's been like that even back in the old Toons lines from 2010. That's not a new thing, but I think it's a little disappointing. I think it looks a little jarring on the Red Rider's background. I think they should have just had new artwork made, if that makes sense. I don't know. I know it probably wouldn't have been too feasible because Pixar's also making artwork for Cars on the Road characters, but I don't know. I just think it would have been nice to kind of tie it together a lot more. Because admittedly, this is one of my least favorite things about this release, is the artwork on the packaging. The packages do specify on the front now that they are as seen in Tokyo Mater. And this is what I was talking about. Like, the background has this nice Tokyo, or the back of the package has this nice Tokyo background, which isn't even from Tokyo Mater, it's from Cars 2. But, why couldn't they have put that on the front as well? That would have been nice. Kind of like how the Cars on the Road releases have their own packaging. Now, granted, it does look like they are doing away with that. We've seen several on-the-road cars without the special background and stuff, so it looks like maybe they're trying to unify everything. So it makes sense why they wouldn't do a special background for the Toons, but I don't know. The Toons have always just had their own unique packaging, so I guess that's one of the consequences of it being in the main line now. But rant aside, I'm still really happy that we are actually getting Toons diecasts again. I think that's just absolutely awesome. So yeah, let's get Ito-san out of the package. And yeah, this is one of the... I've talked about this in all of my recent reviews, but I had to order this online because distribution is terrible. And it admittedly wasn't super cheap, but in the end, I think it was worth it because I am super behind on 2023 releases, so I needed to catch up. So here is Ito-san out of the package. Very nice expression, to be honest. It's very calm, kind of suits the vibe of the character. He's a very collected person. I don't know, he's kind of, I would say peaceful. It's kind of like a peaceful expression. I like that. The eyelids are also pretty dynamic, so even though he's looking straight ahead, they put a lot of curves in the eyelids to give him a very unique look. That's very cool. I like this grille. It's a little bit textured, as you can see. It's got this fun pattern in the middle, I guess. Not even really a crazy pattern. It's just a bunch of little squares, but it is kind of a distinct grille. I like that a lot. he has something that I haven't really seen on a Cars character before. He's got these like elevated mirrors. So they're not attached to his doors, they're on his hood, and they're like elevated from the car. They have like this little post down there, and then they come up, and then there's the mirror. Very interesting. It seems like a good spot to put the mirrors. Like, it kind of makes sense that they're there, but then it's like, well, how do you open the hood? We know the cars can open their hoods, as seen in Cars too, so it's like, how does that work? I guess you can kind of see these like lines, which might signify that just this little area is the hood. Maybe this part opens, not too sure. But I think it's definitely interesting, to say the least. He's got some pretty fancy looking headlights there. Very, very cool. He also has these little plastic pieces down here. These like gray, curvy pieces. I think those are kind of like to represent almost like part of a mustache or some sort of facial hair. I could be very off on that. In fact, I probably am. It might even just be like a unique car part for him. But honestly, I'm not really sure. It would be nice if maybe I was gonna say if they explained it in the short, but like they wouldn't explain that. That's a very trivial thing to explain. But I really wish I knew the answer because like I feel like people will think I'm stupid because like I don't know the answer. I don't know what they are. But either way, they do kind of help him stand out a bit from what is otherwise, if I'm being honest, a completely generic Cars model. This is very similar to cars like Jesse Hollander and Trent Croteau. In fact, I have Trent Croteau, and as you can see, it is very similar, even down to the grille. Like, the grille is the same. The color is the same. Everything about it is the same, basically. And, oh, he's got the little elevated mirrors on the hood, too. Interesting. Maybe that's something that this model of car does. It's not exclusive. It's not exclusive to Ito-san. That's very interesting. But yeah, he is admittedly like one of the most generic models from Tokyo Mater, but a lot of the other cars are fun and unique, so it's fine. It works out. He doesn't really have anything going on the sides here. He does have this like visor piece over the window. I know some cars, including one of the cars that my family members has like an actual piece that goes up on the top of the window. And what it does is it kind of like stops rain from getting in when you crack your window open. So basically it lets you like open your window a little bit even when it's raining because it like catches the rain. So I wonder if maybe that's what that is. I'm not entirely sure, but it is kind of unique looking. He's just got, you know, generic door handles, your standard windows here. It's got this like back piece here and then the two squarish ones there. Nice rims, pretty similar to a lot of the, like, I don't know. I was gonna say to a lot of the like Tokyo cars, but I guess that's not accurate. It's not an uncommon rim design, I don't think. Like, it looks pretty familiar. I think it fits Ito-san very well. It's very classy. It kind of matches his design and presence, I guess. On the back here, you can see his red taillights and a license plate that just got very blurry. And it reads 90210R. Wonder what that means. Completely non-obstructed window in the back here. Very, very basic. He doesn't even have like, I don't know, he doesn't have anything going on here. Doesn't even have something in the window. And my camera just focused in on the background when I was trying to zoom out. And yeah, this side is pretty much the same as well as the other side. You can see the indented line for the trunk here. And that's pretty much it. Honestly, there's not a whole lot to say about Ito-san. I will say, though, the gray outline around his eyes here is very distracting. It's one of those things where once you notice it, you can't unnotice it. And now that's like all I can see. Very similar issue to Patoka, where his eye plate, it was very obvious that it was segmented because it was pushed in to the car body. Here, it's kind of a similar deal. The weird gray outline around it just kind of shows you that, yes, this is in fact an eye plate. I wonder if the Made in China one is similar to that or not. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think I've ever seen the China one because I don't have it. But yeah, it's very distracting, if I'm being completely honest. Otherwise, though, it's a solid representation of a pretty generic model. Like, obviously, there's not a lot you can do to make this car interesting, but they did a great job of translating it into die-cast form. So, pretty solid release overall. And yeah, that wraps it up for the review. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are on Ito-san in the comment section below. Definitely the least interesting character from Tokyo Mater in terms of design, but still a nice release to have nonetheless. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.